Dave Palumbo here for Muscle Serpents Daily, and guys, welcome back. Hopefully you guys are having a really nice Thursday. We're almost at Friday, almost at the weekend, right? Today, I have some helpers coming in. My friend Paul Miller is coming. Yoda from Yoda's Boas is coming. And we're gonna be doing some cleaning of the bigger snakes. Maybe take a little sneak peek of those. That's always fun. You know, I like to pull my Burms out. I can't really do it right now because of my leg, but you know, when I have other friends there, I can do it. At least I know that if anything happens, they can always be there to assist me. It's always good when you have a big snake to have at least two people there when you're taking it out. Although my Burms are not that big at this point, but once again, I only have really one leg to balance on. Oh, Jedi, my cat, wants to get involved in the process. Come here, Jedi. Come here. Let's show everyone. Jedi doesn't want to be left out. Okay, here he is. What a good boy he is. I wish my kids behaved as well as you do. Good boy. All right. Well, Jedi's here. We're gonna go into the snake room and, like I said, do some cleaning. We'll take a look at some cool stuff, and maybe we'll even take a look at my turtles and tortoises and fish tanks today. Tomorrow, assuming that these boas shed out, we're gonna be looking at some really cool onyx litter that I had last week, and they're really special. I actually was speaking to my good friend Freek Knut in the Netherlands, and he actually filled me in on some of the cool stuff that's going on with the onyx projects, and so I'm going to be identifying a lot of that stuff as well. And I also want to say, you know what? I saw some amazing blue tongue skinks today on Instagram, on Blue Tongue TV. I should say Blue Tongue, I don't even know what he calls it. Joe Ball is the breeder, and it's Blue Tongue Lizards or something like that, .com, or I think that's what he calls it. And he's the king of the blue tongues. I've mentioned it before. He posted these quadruple heads up that were albino, hypermelanistic, which is the black, totally black skinks. Also, they're northerns, or they're whites, and they're aneurystic or something like that. So the anery removes red. The whites are just, I guess they make them more white. And of course, albino removes all darks, and then you have the blacks. So the albino and the blacks, or the albinos and the hypermelanistic together are called lavas. But then when you remove, you know, even more with the anery gene and then the white gene, you get these snow white, the whitest looking blue tongues you've ever seen, with the pinkest tongues and the reddest eyes. I'll put pictures up. They're gorgeous. This guy is knocking it out of the park. Congratulations, Joe. If I could only get some of those here in America, I would sell my soul for those things. They're so amazing. He's doing an awesome job over there. All right, guys, having said that, showed you those special skinks, let's go take a look at my collection. All right, we're starting out today with a fish tank. And this is my live planted tank. I've shown you guys this before. Angelfish are voraciously hungry. The discus fish is out, the clown loach. We're gonna give these guys a little bit of bloodworms. Actually, not bloodworms, they're kind of like freeze-dried bloodworms in pellet form. And let's see, throw this in there. Let's watch these guys do some eating. We always feed snakes, now we're feeding fish. Here's my little catfish. And Lacostomus, actually that's the Cory cat. And clown loach likes to eat off the bottom. Look at that beautiful blue-faced San Mara discus fish. He was so shy, he never wanted to ever come out. And just like a snake that's scared at first, eventually they come around. He's not afraid anymore. Angelfish like to eat off the top of the tank. They don't like to go down to the bottom, but they will when they run out of food. They're like food aggressive. And the great part of this tank is because I have so many live plants in here, they eat up all the waste product. So this is, you know, I know in reptiles now everything's about bioactive, trying to have a substrate that will eat up all the urine and waste products that are there. So everything is kind of like in perfect harmonious balance with each other. That's what this fish tank really is. I do water changes once a week, once every 2 weeks, but I almost don't need it. The water is always crystal clear because the plants eat up all the waste. And although they get a little algae on them. Anyway, it's not all about reptiles here at Burmese Pythons and Boas. We love our fish. I got to tell you a little story about my albino soft shell Florida turtle here. My wife saved this guy's life because of my cast on my foot. I haven't been feeding the turtle. She's been feeding him, and I always feed him bloodworms. And this guy used to always eat him as a baby, and he just stopped, and he hasn't been eating him. He's gonna go dig and burrow into the ground now. And she somehow got him eating pellets and krill. And she saved him because I thought he was going downhill. I thought that was it. He was not eating his bloodworms like he always did, and I was very worried about him. And she got him to eat, and his health has bounced back. He's gotten bigger, and I have to thank my wife Amanda for that. She figured out what he wanted. Women, I always say, are smarter than men, and they're good problem solvers. So that's my soft shell turtle. Pablo helped me. Well, he really did it on his own. We needed this tank or tub needed a desperate cleaning, and Pablo cleaned the whole thing for me because I'm in the disabled list right now. So my albino Sucattas are enjoying this nice clean enclosure now. They got their little basking spot here. They got their lettuce. They love the Timothy hay. That's the new thing I've been giving them recently, and they devour that stuff. They really do. It's great because you don't have to worry about it spoiling. You can just leave a big handful of it in there, and they'll eat it. And when they're done, I'll put more in there. So, tortoises, turtles, fish are doing well. Let's go over to the snake room. What's up, guys? Dave Palumbo here. I'm here with my crew, my good friend Paul Miller, Pablo on the camera, and we got our beautiful female Burmese Python here. This girl is getting big. She's putting on some nice size. She's a sweetheart. We're cleaning cages here. Obviously, I'm on my scooter, and because I still have my cast on my foot, and it's good to have friends that actually will come over and help you when you need help. And when you're dealing with big snakes, you really do need a couple people to kind of handle them. One to kind of hold them. I'm kind of doing the easy job. I'm holding the snakes, and these guys are cleaning them, so I appreciate their help. But this girl is putting on some nice size, and this is really a wild type looking, Burmese Python. She's het for a few things, but you can see that this is like just the beauty of a regular Burmese Python. Sometimes people forget. We're all so caught up in morphs and everything like that, and I just love her. I mean, she's good. You can tell she's growing. She's not fat. We don't overfeed her. She never gets more than she doesn't even eat jumbo rat. She eats like a large rat. And yet she's growing and she's putting on size. And, once again, this is a display animal for me. So I don't need her to get enormous. I don't want her to be huge and fat. I don't want her to die, because she's obese or anything like that. And I just love Burms. And I'm really happy that I can display them here and educate people about, the proper keeping of these things. Obviously in Florida, they're illegal for most people. I have an educational permit here to be able to handle these things and do, kids. I go to my kids' school and educate people about snakes, and everyone loves to see a big snake. Oh, there he is, Logan. Logan, do you like the big snakes? Yeah. Let me see. You want to pet her? No. No? He doesn't like them that much. You gotta always supervise your big snakes around kids. I don't care how fearless they are. My 2-year-old is fearless, but can't leave a big snake around because they could obviously get around a kid's neck and choke him out or something like that. You don't want that to happen. But once again, as reptile lovers, as snake lovers, we love our big snakes. They obviously have a place in everyone's heart. And who doesn't want a big muscular snake and who's tame? And I love the Burms because they're just such a good personality. These snakes never snap. Even when they're eating, they're really, really kind of mellow. So I love these things. Thank God they're not venomous, right, Paul? Yeah. Paul is the vet. If you want to get venomous snakes, Paul's the guy to go to. He imports everything. What's the next shipment coming in, Paul?
The 18th of this month.
Anything cool? Exotic?
Really cool stuff. Some tiger snakes from Australia. A few other really rare species are coming in.
We're gonna head over. We're gonna go to Paul's house, I think, and do some filming over there to show you guys some of the stuff that he's getting in next week. And because it's stuff that you don't get to see a lot, and you probably get the rarest stuff, I would say.
Yeah.
In the business.
Definitely do the highest volume of anybody with venomous, and there's some other guys who do get some rare stuff out there, but they don't get the volume that I get.
Right.
They may get some 1s and 2s of this and that, but
what's the craziest thing you think you ever imported? Step up a little bit so you can see a little bit.
Who knows, man? At this point, everything kind of becomes common at some point.
Of all the things you've gotten in, though, what was like the thing you said, holy, that's pretty cool,
I would think probably the rarest thing lately are these tiger snakes that are coming in.
Why are they so rare?
Well, they're an Australian Lapid, and they're not really established in, there's nobody breeding them here. They're not established here in Europe. They're starting to breed them, where they have been breeding them, and they're making their way.
And
this
who buys
way.
these things from you? Various collectors?
Zoos, sometimes, private collectors, some of the guys that are into more of the high-end, expensive stuff like you.
Right.
Except for not
and you
venomous.
need to have a venomous permit. I will
Right.
never have venomous here because I'll wind up dying. I'll be that guy who gets bit. No cobras. All right, we're gonna take a look at some of the other great stuff we have in the collection today. I think we have a clutch actually pipping in the incubator. Pablo's probably cut those eggs open already. We'll take a look and see what we got. Stay tuned. All right, we're taking a quick peek at the lavender leopard blackhead clutch. Here's a.
Now we can see.
You like this one, Logan, right? This is the
Yeah.
leopard blackhead het lavender albino
And look at this
with
one.
a nice stripe. And that one is the purple one, right?
Yeah.
This is leopard blackhead
Ooh.
lavender. So this is
That one's cool.
and this one's going to turn purplish, right?
Yeah, I thought it was white.
You thought it was just an albino, but yeah, as they get older, these lavender albinos will turn
I
purple.
thought this was white right here.
It looks white right now, but it's going to turn purple. So really nice looking. Oh, we got another one there. We have another lavender sneaking out here.
I cut the head.
So we got to set these guys up because they're ready. Oop, almost got bit. They're ready to
I
go.
almost got this.
These guys all shed out already. They're ready to eat next week. Oh, this one's a nice one too. Look at this one.
Yeah, and it's albino leopard.
I think this might be leopard lavender.
It's almost biting me right now.
Beautiful. These really came out nice. I'm
I
pretty
want
happy
to see the
about these.
other ones.
Very happy with these. What's up, guys? I got a enormous boa here. Let me see if I can get her out of here. This is an Orangasm line Pastel Eclipse. So this is a leopard motley Orangasm Pastel, which is a line bred trait. You can see that a lot of more orange in them. Usually these eclipses are really dark, brownish, charcoaly, like chocolatey. And this girl's also het col albino, and she's going to be put into the breeding rotation this coming spring. She's got some good size. She's got a nice big rat in her that we fed her, so I don't want to mess around with her too much. We just are cleaning right now, so I wanted to show you her. Look at that red face. You see the difference between a regular Eclipse that's really black and this one that's got all this red in it, and that's that Pastel line here.
I should have that.
All right, I'm here. We got Paul Miller here. He is the venomous expert, and I have him handling my most difficult carpet. It was actually really not that difficult, just to get him out. This is a supernova carpet python, and as you can tell, because of the JAG gene in there, that it's a little neurologic. This guy, he's so beautiful though that I don't want to get rid of him. I love him, and I want him to breed and pass on that like whitish, color he's got, and so. He's just a beauty, but he's very neurologic. A lot of the JAG gene in carpets, makes these snakes very neurologic. And like I said, I don't really have much in the way of JAG at all, but he is a snake. One of my first carpets I had ever bought, actually, and I had a female too, and she died, and she got egg bound. So he's like the last of the Mohegans, so to speak. And so I'm looking to possibly, I'm trying to breed him and pass on some of his genes. Hopefully the JAG gene doesn't pass on. We could just get the Nova Guinea gene or whatever they call it, supernova gene. And like I said, I just liked him from the original just because look at that head pattern. He looks like a tribal tattoo. It looks like he's almost got like a face on him. That's what really got me. When I got him as a baby, he was actually like almost like Snow White, and then with the black markings, he was just really pretty exquisite looking. And so this is one of those little pet carpet projects I have it as a side project. Hopefully he'll breed this year for us. All right, I wanted to end today's video on a high note. This is my beautiful super fire boa that I got from Jeremy Stone back in 2015, I believe it was. She's laid a couple of clutches of slugs, or a couple of litters of slugs, I should say, infertile ova. I'm hoping this year maybe we'll get something from her in the way of some super fires. I don't blame her, I blame my males. She's like a clock. Every 2 years, she's ready to go, and then it seems like my males just don't breed with her. I don't know why, but I've had some problems with super fires. I don't know. They seem to be a little more difficult to breed than the regular imperators, the Colombian imperators. She's absolutely gorgeous. Look, she's got some really cool looking speckling on her that's kind of unique. Every super fire, some of them have none, some have speckles, some have a lot. She's got a few more speckles. I think as she's got a little older, actually. She's got a little yellow on her nose. Everyone is a little unique in their own way. And you know what? That's what I love about these snakes. They're so beautiful. And they're like probably, there's several different types of boas that will get better as they get older, especially with the black-eyed anery gene, but this is just a homozygous super fire. And she's beautiful. This snake is talk about setting up a snake in an enclosure where, a naturalistic enclosure where they can climb and stuff like that. This is the snake I'd love to set up like that. I'd like to retire her. I'd like to get one nice litter from her at least, and then retire her and just build her a beautiful setup to climb around in. Maybe even that new enclosure I got, that could be hers. There's a good idea, see? Always thinking about new ideas. Anyway, I want to thank Jeremy Stone. If it wasn't for Jeremy Stone, we would not have the super fire and the fires morph in the boa breeding hobby. He was, bold enough to go over there and import these things and get them over here. Whatever happened. He had legal problems. He spent a lot of money doing it, but sometimes it just takes one person with a vision and a lack of fear, and that's what he had. He said, you know what? This snake needs to be in the boa breeding hobby. I'm going to make it happen. And he did. And if it wasn't for him, you know what? We all wouldn't have these beautiful snakes. So thank you, Jeremy. He's a good friend of mine, and hopefully he's doing well. I've reached out to him a couple times. I don't know if he's been busy, but I'd love to get him back on my show and interview him again. And I love these snakes. And once again, now we're starting to see more people mix things into them, and we're finding out that it's pretty hard to change how these guys look with different genes, but you can breed for these spots. It's like almost like a line bred trait. And I know a lot of different breeders now are producing some really cool looking spotted versions of these. They almost look like cow retics. They have yellows and different kind of brown spots and all kinds of cool stuff. So anyway, once again, I wanted to just point out, sometimes you got to just appreciate some of the great things you have. When I got this snake from him, it was like a dream come true, because I remember seeing that first white snake when he was putting it up on his website and on his YouTube channel, and no one had anything. No one even had the fires. No one even had the ability to make their own, and he was the only one with the snake. It was just like, wow, one day I'm gonna have one of those. And I do. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for today here at Burmese Pythons and Boas. You got to see a really cool Burm, one of my favorites. That female, she's putting on some nice size. She's gonna be a really nice display animal one of these days. One of these days I'll build her an enormous enclosure, and she'll be able to live out her days in style. Actually, I want to do that for all my Burms at some point in the future. You gotta always have that image in your mind of what you want to do, and never ever waver from it, even though at the moment in time right now it might seem like, well, it's impossible that we can actually accomplish what I want to do, or it's just not the right time. But just keep that image there, because there'll always be a way that finds itself open to the opportunity to create what you want. And I have no doubt that I will have a huge facility on my property next door at some point with a big, huge outdoor enclosure area. When that will happen, I'm not sure, but I know it's going to happen. So I have to keep that in my head. Anyway, I showed you a little of this, a little of that. Tomorrow we're going to be actually opening that big enclosure that I received. It's 6 foot by 4 foot by 3 foot. I was originally going to put some blue tree monitors in there. Unfortunately, they died on me, and so I don't have those, but we're going to be putting something in there. What we're going to be putting in there is to be determined, but we have to first set it up, and then I'm going to have to try to decorate it. If any of you guys have any ideas of where I can get some big tree stumps and logs, although I could probably get them in my backyard here. I just don't know if it's safe to take in stuff from outside. I'm always worried about bugs and stuff like that. I can't stand bugs. So that'll be tomorrow's project. And we'll be pairing up our ball pythons again tomorrow, and you never know. We might have a boa litter, could have some ball python laying some eggs. That's the amazing thing about this time of year. You never know what's going to happen. All right, guys, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications, hit that like button. I'll see you back tomorrow morning.